right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Amazon back in business in Edwardsville nearly 3 years after a deadly tornado.
Every life is important.
Tonight, the push to deliver safety measures for warehouse workers.
The end of September continues to sizzle. How hot it'll get, plus I'm tracking weekend rain chances.
Our top story, 4 people shot in North St. Louis tonight. A devastated grandmother calls for an end to the violence.
I don't want my grandson involved in this stuff. Oh, Lord.
More on that in a moment. First, breaking news out of downtown St. Louis, where gunfire broke out just steps from Busch Stadium and Ballpark Village during tonight's Cardinals game. The shooting happened about 90 minutes ago near the intersection of Broadway and Clark. Police say one man was grazed by a bullet and refused medical treatment. He was also armed and was arrested for carrying a gun as a convicted felon. At this hour, there is still no word what led to this gunfire. We will keep you posted.
Now back to our top story tonight. 2 people are dead. 2 others are being treated after a quadruple shooting in North St. Louis. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. The gunfire broke out this afternoon on Kensington Avenue near Kings Highway. That's not far from Fountain Park in North St. Louis. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend spoke to the grandmother of one of the persons who was shot. Robert.
Mike and Kelly, police are still trying to piece together the quadruple shooting. Meantime, one woman is praying earnestly for her grandson who suffered gunshot wounds. Rosie Jamerson was enjoying a peaceful day inside her home in this North St. Louis neighborhood, but around 5 Wednesday afternoon,
I heard some shots, pow, 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 and it sounded like they were close.
too close. The worried grandma learned her grandson was one of 4 people shot in the 5200 block of Kensington Avenue in the Academy neighborhood.
Oh, Lord.
Within 2 minutes of the call being dispatched, officers were on the scene.
They combed this vacant lot where police say 3 men and a woman were shot.
We know that a man has died and a female has also died here at the scene. We know that of the 2 other shooting victims out here this evening, one is a 31-year-old. He is fighting for his life. He is in critical condition, unstable. And we know that another 21-year-old man has also been shot. He was shot in the arm.
Come on out, I'm be all right. Don't want none of them.
Police recovered a gun and dozens of shell casings in the street.
It appears, as of right now, that there was an exchange of gunfire between at least 2 people. We have also recovered cash here at the scene. So all of those things we need to look at.
Investigators also say the quadruple shooting happened in an area that's known for drug activity and other crimes.
This has been an area of concern, and I know the city has taken many efforts to organize people in the neighborhoods to try to get this area cleaned up.
An off-duty St. Louis firefighter rushed to the scene to help one of the people shot.
That firefighter is an absolute hero when it comes to rendering aid and trying to save individual lives.
As of tonight, police have not released any more details. They are asking anyone with any information to call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Remember, you could receive a reward.
We have new details tonight on a deadly police pursuit crash in South St. Louis County. Investigators now say Delisha Evans was dead prior to the crash on September 6th. Her ex-boyfriend Ryan Phillips was behind the wheel and was killed in a shootout with police. Investigators have not said when and how the mother of 2 died. Her family believes Phillips killed her at her home in Texas before driving her body back to their hometown of St. Louis.
A new push tonight to halt the execution of a Missouri death row inmate just 6 days before he is set to die. Marcellus Williams is now asking the U.S. Supreme Court to step in. He's convicted of killing former Post-Dispatch reporter Felicia Gale in 1998. After several appeals, Williams now wants the High Court to weigh in on whether his due process rights were violated and issue a stay of execution. Tonight in Columbia, the University of Missouri Columbia Law School led a discussion on Williams' case. A death row exoneree was among the speakers.
It concerns me because I was exonerated in 2003, and here it is 20 years later, they still trying to execute somebody. And I mean, regardless, I'm the only one who's been exonerated. How many more people who should have been exonerated that was executed?
Williams is scheduled to be executed next Tuesday. Tonight, Congresswoman Cori Bush sent a letter tonight to Governor Mike Parson calling on him to, quote, halt this barbaric execution and grant Marcellus clemency.
It has been nearly 3 years since a deadly tornado hit Edwardsville, killing 6 people working at an Amazon warehouse. The delivery station finally reopened 2 weeks ago. New tonight, 5 on your side's Laura Barcheski talked with one of the affected families. Laura?
Kelly, each new development since the tragedy brings back a lot of emotions for the Cope family, but they're still hopeful for change in Illinois.
3 years ago this December, Alexander Cope lost her brother Clay after an EF3 tornado hit the Edwardsville Amazon warehouse where he worked.
It's something that you don't think is real in the moment when someone tells you that your 29-year-old brother is dead.
Ever since then, the Cope family has been fighting for the safety of warehouse workers.
And I don't want to see what has happened to our family, my brother, and the other individuals who were killed that night to happen again.
Even contributing to a new state task force that's gathering information to make recommendations to legislators.
We've heard everything from shelters to very important training measures. So people having a place to go and knowing where to go are really important factors, making sure buildings are up to code.
The city of Edwardsville did change its city code, requiring buildings be able to withstand winds up to 114 miles per hour. A spokesperson for Amazon says while they didn't build a specific storm shelter, quote, our emergency shelter-in-place areas have always been compliant with OSHA state and local guidance, and we worked with a third-party registered design professional before reopening in order to determine the optimal refuge locations inside the facility. The company has also hired meteorologists, and employees are now given lanyards with a card that has all the information they need for extreme weather events. The Cope family and local legislators still want to see more done. Representative Katie Stewart said in a statement, storms are more frequent and stronger, and we want to do everything we can to make sure that workers who go to work in the morning come home at night.
We need to have a mindset shift of like tornadoes do tear people apart. They tore many families apart.
Next Wednesday, the Workers' Safety Task Force will be meeting at SIUE to look at a draft of recommendations to bring to the Illinois State Legislature, and they hope to present their findings early next year.
Thanks, Laura. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is taking new measures to alert you of radioactive waste in Coldwater Creek. The group met today to discuss their plan to put up warning signs in close to 200 areas. The signs would warn residents to not dig in areas known to be contaminated by radioactive material from World War II. If more areas are found to be contaminated, more signs and fences will go up to keep residents away. Officials say they'll always be open to the public to help.
Once again, it's an area that if we're not getting the word out as well as we can be, we can take feedback on those and refine that message moving forward.
The Environmental Protection Agency is still testing residents' basements to make sure they're not contaminated.
A Florissant police officer is accused of taking naked photos from a teenage girl's phone. The officer already faces a similar lawsuit accusing him of taking the victim's phones during a traffic stop and copying the nude photos he finds on the phone. The victim's lawyer believes the officer then distributed the naked photos of the teen.
We are in the business in my profession of seeing and dealing with some bad and disturbing conduct. And even 22 years of doing this one shook me. This is bad.
Florissant police say their officers are not trained to take phones during traffic stops.
Tonight we have new video of the teenager charged with making a threat against Rittner High School. St. Anne released a video from Instagram showing the suspect showing off a gun with the high school tagged in the video. They also released a video of where they found the teen and his gun. The charges come as more schools across the bi-state see a rise in threats, an issue where police say time is of the essence.
Any type of threat like that, there's always the time factor involved. We want to find out who's made these posts to either, stop a school shooting from happening, or just we want time on our side.
Police are asking if you see a school threat, please don't share it on social media. Call police immediately. Any threat against the school is considered a federal offense. Tonight, a man is behind bars accused of causing damage outside the Cathedral Basilica in the Central West End. Prosecutors have charged Christopher Yaros with several counts, including vandalism, property damage, and unlawful use of a weapon. According to investigators, he used a boom lift to knock the Angel of Harmony statue off its base last night. They say he also fired a gun at a parked car. Police say he showed signs of mental illness.
Mayor Tashara Jones has announced when the St. Louis Workhouse will be demolished. The city shut down the former medium security jail back in 2021 after accusations of inhumane conditions. Crews will start demolishing most of the buildings on December 16th. The mayor is asking residents to submit ideas for a memorial to commemorate the site.
Tonight, another St. Louis restaurant has set an age restriction. Whiskey on Washington just reopened this month downtown with a new business model. Instead of a bar, it's now a restaurant.
And after 9 p.m., only customers 30 and up are welcome to dine there. New tonight, Brent Solomon takes us to the new expanded location.
For years, Whiskey on Washington was just a bar in downtown St. Louis. As of this month, things have changed.
We did it and we're open for business.
Take a look inside the new Whiskey on Washington, which isn't just a bar. It's also a restaurant.
Our Cajun pasta sells extremely well. That's probably our top entree.
The head chef is proud of their tasty offerings.
Cajun salmon, we got our zesty lemon chicken, we got steak options.
The new restaurant is located across from its former location, inside the former Lucas Park Grill, which closed during COVID. The business expanding from a 1,500 square foot space to 8,500 square feet.
It was a six-figure investment to just get the doors open. A lot of things were damaged, a lot of things were broken, a lot of things had to be replaced.
But owner David Shanks was committed to see his vision become reality.
The change in venue comes with a change in policy, a new age requirement after 9 o'clock.
That's when the restaurant will only welcome customers who are 30 and up.
When I think of 30 and up, I really think of that working class individual that really want to get away from their kids. I have a 21-year-old son, and I love him to death, but I do not want to see him everywhere that I go. I want to be able to mingle with the people in my age bracket and have a good time.
And while businesses have come and gone in downtown St. Louis, this former principal turned business owner is invested in his city.
I just love supporting my community. Yeah, we can do this in Frontenac, we can do this in Clayton, but why not downtown?
Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
Development group Greater STL Inc. is praising Whiskey on Washington's decision to stay downtown, saying it's a sign of the growing momentum in the heart of the metro. The restaurant is open evenings every day except Sunday.
Scary moments on a school field trip.
It's a traumatic day for a lot of people.
The dozens injured after a wagon ride goes haywire. Tonight, a break on borrowing.
It's a little rough, so any bit of help will be helpful.
The Fed finally cuts interest rates when you could see some financial relief.
The summer heat and humidity continues, especially on Friday. Then autumn arriving in just a few days. I am tracking cooler temperatures next week.
Developing tonight, a possible end to a manhunt in Kentucky. A body was found along Interstate 75 in a heavily wooded area where police have been searching for Joseph Couch. He is the suspected gunman wanted for opening fire on unsuspecting drivers last week. 5 people were hurt. Investigators have not identified the body. Tonight in Wisconsin, dozens of people are recovering, including children, after a hay wagon overturned during the school field trip and an apple orchard. At least 3 people suffered life-threatening injuries after the wagon lost control and went down a hill. The ages of the injured have not been released, but authorities say all of the elementary school-age children have been reunited with their families.
Pretty heart-wrenching. As a parent myself, you know, it's a parent's greatest fear that something happens to their children, especially when they're, young like that.
The cause of the crash remains under investigation.
Just hours ago at the U.S. Capitol, a 6-month funding extension failed to get through the House of Representatives. 14 Republicans voted against the GOP-led bill. The funding extension included the SAVE Act, which linked the temporary funding to a federal mandate for states to require proof of citizenship for voter registration. Lawmakers now have 13 days to approve a stopgap measure to prevent a partial government shutdown. The Federal Reserve is bringing interest rates down for the first time since the pandemic. The Fed cut rates by half a point, helping borrowers get relief on financial strains like mortgages and credit card debt. For the last year, the country has seen the highest interest rates in 23 years. Experts say Americans could see even lower rates very soon.
This decision reflects our growing confidence that with an appropriate recalibration of our policy stance, strength in the labor market can be maintained in a context of moderate growth and inflation moving sustainably down to 2%.
So when will people see a difference? The Fed did not give a timeline, but says the impact will not be immediate or quick.
Here's a live look tonight at St. Louis Lambert International Airport, which has a little baggage when it comes to passenger satisfaction. In a new consumer survey, J.D. Power ranked Lambert 25th of 27 large airports in North America. That's down from 22nd last year. The analytics firm tells our partners at the St. Louis Business Journal Lambert's decline may be due to a lack of improvements as the city finalizes a $3 billion redevelopment to consolidate into one terminal.
Tonight, a local woman took a spin on the wheel, and she won big.
10 seconds. Good luck.
Poached salmon.
Melissa Bricky won more than $60,000 on tonight's episode of Wheel of Fortune. She also won a Tahitian cruise. The Rosati Kane grad calls her appearance a bucket list item.
Good for her. It's hard to win just that cash, you know, to open
Under
that
that
envelope.
pressure.
I know.
Congrats.
Poached
Yeah.
salmon. Good
Wow.
for her. All right, Jim Castillo is in for Scott tonight with the weather impact forecast.
And I'm geeking out again. There's
With
my
the moon.
Yeah, the almost full supermoon. It's rising. I've been trying to pull back that camera, but you can see it right there. The arch down here. Beautiful, right? It's a very nice night out there. Great for the Cardinals. Again, not only that win, but also the beautiful weather. So 80 degrees, a few clouds did move in. Now we're starting to clear again. Humidity at 43% and that dew point 56. 91 was a high, but we had the low relative humidity and we started out at 63, so very comfortable. Tomorrow morning, the dry air is still with us. The humidity is trying to creep up, so we're at 65 tomorrow morning, but a lot of 50s outside of St. Louis and a light south wind. So high pressure is overhead. Now this little disturbance moved through here. No rain, it's too dry for that. But you can see the high clouds and even some mid-level clouds that moved through earlier, now pushing into eastern Illinois into Indiana. But we are clearing up. So tomorrow it is all sunshine and low 90s again. Maybe a slight uptick in that relative humidity. Then we're watching a front and low pressure to the west. So western Missouri Friday morning, it gets close to us late in the evening, but there's a chance of a shower or a storm early on Friday. Now in the afternoon though, look at these high temperatures with the humidity and heat. It feels like the mid, maybe upper 90s at 4 o'clock. But in the morning hours, let me show you this. So we're clearing up tonight. And as we get into tomorrow, mostly sunny, but there's Friday morning. That chance of some rain in here looks like a pretty good chance Friday morning. And then we have some dry time in the afternoon. So most of Friday, we're just kind of hot and humid. Then we get into Saturday. It's hot, humid, 90 degrees. But look at all the rain in northern Missouri. We'll watch that front. Again, it's still to the north or to the west of us. And we'll watch Sunday's forecast, 87. Still a chance of a shower or storm in here. Same for Monday as the front still to the west of us. But finally, it moves through on Tuesday. And we're in the upper 70s as we get into next week. Now, potential rainfall is there. We're hoping to see this. This is just an average of what we could see. And that's a good half an inch of rain to maybe an inch of rain all the way until Monday night. 7-day forecast. We're kind of hot and humid all the way through Sunday, and that rain chance off and on this weekend, and then drier next week in upper 70s.
All right, Jim, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, we have it all. The Blues president, the Mizzou athletic director, a former Cardinal hero, and another Cardinal victory. We'll be right back.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by Telly Tire and Auto Centers, driving your way since 1942.
It happened last year also, but it is kind of strange if you look at the last 2 decades. The St. Louis Cardinals playing unimportant baseball in the month of September. Let's hope we don't get used to it. Even Brad and Chip on the TV broadcast needed a diversion from the Cardinals and Pirates. Brendan Donovan needs a cooler. This month, he's been too hot in over 900 OPS, including this 2-run homer, Cards up 2-0 in the second. Even though the Cardinals were winning 4-2, Ali Marmol didn't like what he saw with some of the balls and strikes. He was tossed, so he missed Jordan Walker delivering again. His OPS is also over 900 this month. This is a 2-run double in the 7th, and the Cardinals make it 3 in a row with a 10-5 victory. A cool moment before the game. Matt Adams threw out the first pitch, and today he signed a 1-day deal with the Cardinals where it all began, and he retired. Big country, big city, played here for 7 years. He hit 59 homers and 4 more in the postseason. The most memorable one being in 2013 off future Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw. And tonight, Matt reflected on that iconic moment and what his future might hold.
In that video, it plays on repeat at our house, so definitely watch that for sure. Probably the best moment of my career outside of winning the World Series. My goal is to be a big league manager one day, and I think my story kind of speaks for itself. I've been a lot of places, been through a lot, and I feel like I can help the next generation kind of show them the ropes and show them how to be a true professional. So I definitely want to stay in the game.
As the curtain is opening on the Blues training camp, we are reminded just how fast hockey is. And I'm not talking about the speed of the game. Camp opens Thursday. Their first game is Saturday. Baseball, they stretch and do calisthenics at spring training for about 2 weeks before they play their first game. Now, in a 32-team league, the Blues are ranked in the low 20s. The odds makers don't like their chances either, but it's a franchise with some good talent in their mid-20s and a lot of young talent in their early 20s. They're likely not a cup contender this season. Here's the president on his franchise at this moment in time.
You have to accumulate as many puzzle pieces as you can, and then at some point you have to start making the puzzle. And right now I think what we've done is we've accumulated enough assets, and then we move some of those chess pieces around to build a team. And I think we're getting in that team building mode now where we expect to compete, and if it's not fitting in with our puzzle, we have to move pieces along to find better fits.
I enjoy going to Lombardo's at the airport, but Corey Miller won the rock, paper, scissors competition today, so he got to interview Laird Veach, the new Mizzou athletic director. Laird came to speak to the St. Louis chapter of the National Football Foundation. Tennessee just announced this week a 10% surcharge on tickets to support NIL. It's all about the money now, folks.
We are going to need to generate more resources to be competitive. I mean, we've done really well with what we've got, but we are headed into another area, and that's just going to continue to elevate in terms of what's going to be required and expected in order to be successful. So we're going to have to raise prices. We're going to have to ask more of our people on the fundraising side. We're going to have to get sponsors to more and more big sponsors to really get involved and be supportive and recognize that overall benefit of a highly successful football program to the university, to the city, to the state.
The interesting thing is that Sports Plus is going to have some big-time guests on Sunday night. That's Paul Goldschmidt, one-on-one, Brady Cook, one-on-one, and we will celebrate Jay Randolph's 90th birthday also.
That'll be great. Thanks,
fun.
Frank.
Yep.
All right, Jean Smart just won her 3rd consecutive Golden Lady, the gig she just booked to kick off a golden season in late-night television.
Saturday Night Live will kick off its 50th season on September 27th. Actress Jean Smart will make her hosting debut on the season opener, coming off her 3rd straight Emmy for Best Actress in a Comedy. That's for her role on Hacks. Jelly Roll will be the musical guest. You can watch SNL every Saturday night at 10:30 right here on 5 on Your Side.
If you haven't seen Hacks, you got to see it.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Tomorrow marks 10 weeks until Thanksgiving, but planning the big holiday feast may start sooner than later. A new survey from turkey producer Jenny O finds most hosts spend upwards of a month planning the guest list, menu, shopping, and cooking the turkey, sides, and desserts. The Show Me State averages 29 days of prep. In Illinois, it's 26 days, and in case you are counting, Thanksgiving is just 71 days away.
And Jim has a final check of the weather impact forecast.
All right, it doesn't feel like the holidays at all
No.
yet.
No.
Maybe a little cooler next week. We'll get to the upper 70s, which is average for this time of year. For the next few days, guys, it's 90s again, and a chance of showers and storms off and on this weekend.
And there you have it, 5 on Your Side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis at 4 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.